Greetings, friends. You're tuning in to the Hippie Hour podcast. We are your hosts, Chelsea
and Aaron, and we invite you to sit back, relax, and let's get groovy.
Okay, so for this episode, we decided that we wanted to give a little review of our top 3 favorite albums. So we're just gonna, I guess, be taking turns talking about what we like listening to, and I'm very excited about my list because I feel like I chose a good little piece from like all the parts of music that I enjoy in my life. For the most part, but I think it's a good in my 3 albums I've got a good little spread.
I feel like your list is gonna be so like deep and impactful, and you're gonna have all these great reasons of like this one just like awoke my spirit or something, and like helped me reach nirvana, and mine's just like I heard it in a movie.
No, honestly, that's the thing about, well, no, I definitely have that for sure because sometimes I just really enjoy listening to music that makes me feel good, and like
man.
that makes it my favorite for me too. So
well, that's the point of it, right?
Yeah, that is the point of it.
Yeah,
I enjoy music that really makes me think about things and is a little bit hard to, like, for example, a little bit of foreshadowing. In one of my favorite albums, like the lyrics really like sit with me a lot, and I end up thinking about the songs like even like days after I listen to them, and I really enjoy that about music. But I also love music that just makes me feel good to listen to and is something that just, I don't know, it's crazy how music affects your brain in those ways too. Like some songs can just make me feel on cloud fucking 9 no matter what. I love that.
Yeah. Well, I like how music can just literally like it can be anything. Like you can think about it so deeply and it can like literally change your life, or you can just want to dance to it, right? Like it's I love it. But still, I think that you should go first because
Okay.
I trust your options to be more thoughtful.
Oh my gosh. Well, honestly, kind of. Well, this one is actually pretty special to me. This album is called Spirit World Field Guide. And it's a 2020 album by like my favorite rap artist ever. Aaron, you know who this is? Aesop Rock, baby.
No way. No shot, really? I love that.
I actually, like, when I think of albums that I enjoy, I typically think of Aesop Rock because he has like 3 now, like albums that I enjoy a lot and like know really well because I've listened to them so often. And Aesop Rock is an artist for me where I don't just listen to like his songs work so well for me because they follow like this story that he's created with his albums, and the like lyrics behind everything are so intricate and like allude to other songs, and it's just like it for me. I really enjoy experiencing it as a whole. So that was like when I thought of albums that I was going to pick, like I knew I had to include one of his because naturally like if I listen to an album, it's from him. But I just think he's such a, like, he is so creative. And this album in particular really speaks to me because, well, it's called Spirit World Field Guide. And he talks a lot about, like, the spiritual nature of things in his life, which isn't something that I've heard from him a lot before, but his music has always been so impactful to me, like a lot of his songs from other albums that I really enjoy. Something's always felt very profound to me about his music, but this album in particular is like, I don't know, it's got like 21 tracks on it, which is a lot, and some of them are kind of short. Like the first song is an introduction to the album, and he pretty much says, like, it's really cool because he pretty much says that like this album is meant to teach you and like it gives you, oh, I forget what it actually, hold on, I'm trying to look out the lyrics. We need an assistant.
all right.
I
gotta get some evidence in here.
Yeah, for like the first song, the first song on the album is called Hello from the Spirit World. And I'll read a little bit of it, and it's pretty much, it acts as an introduction to the whole album. Um, Hello from the spirit world. My days here have been as rewarding as they are troublesome, and often dangerous. I have been assembling my notes for some time now. My intent is to create a guide for anyone whose path may lead to this unwavering otherness. There are days I fear my work will only serve to create more confusion about what I've found, but I felt it necessary to stay the course in hopes that these insights may be illuminating for some. Contained within are anecdotes, recipes, survival tips, warnings, maps, drawings, and more, all organized in an effort to promote safe travel and interdimensional awareness. And then it goes on for a little bit, but you can kind of get like the feel of that. I don't know. It's really cool to me. And I
That's
just
so
really
cool.
appreciate I don't know. It's listening to his music. It's weird, but like it really does feel like it takes a part of me somewhere where I'm like thinking about these things, and like he's such a great artist because of how successful he is at transporting you to that place that he's rapping about. Like he creates his own world, and you really get wrapped in that when you listen to it. At least I do. So yeah, actually, I did want to present one of my favorite lyrics from my favorite song, Pizza Alley, on the album, and my favorite uh, lyrics from that song is pay no mind to the bygones, find him a strange hill to die on, never let me die on a regular hill. And I don't know,
Ooh,
I just really like that for some reason. It really sits
goosebumps.
with me. So anyway, that's my first album, Aesop Rock's Spirit World Field Guide. Check it out, you
Can
guys.
I ask a question about it?
Yes.
Where does the song about his cat fit into his anthology?
Honestly, I don't even know. Wait, what album is that song from?
Because that is the only Aesop Rock song that I know, but I love it. So,
It is a great song, and for some reason, oh, okay, so it's on the album The Impossible Kid, which is also a really great album. He talks a lot about like growing up in his childhood and experiences from that. And also on that album is my all-time favorite Aesop Rock song, which is called Rings, which basically he illustrates like this life that he lived because he was like a academic artist. Like he studied art and he took art classes, and that's like a huge part of his life
oh,
too.
that's cool.
Which I relate to also. So I think that's also another reason why I really like him. But the whole song is about, he goes through talking about like, I just love the way he verbalizes like different like art making techniques. Like he talks about the way, like it almost makes me, because I can relate to that so much, it really creates such a visualization for what it actually feels like to be making those like brushstrokes and what it feels like to be creating something, which is really nice for me to like get back into, because I feel like, well, okay, now I'm going off into like the way I feel as an artist. But anyway, the song that you're talking about, Kirby, is on that album, and it's a really great album too. And that is a very funny. So some of his music is also just like really playful like that, and I appreciate that about him too. It's
Yeah,
not
I
all like,
really like that about it.
yeah, it's not all philosophical. Like it's very playful. It's very I don't know. It's very inspiring to me. He's like one of my favorite artists for sure. So yeah, and also really the only like rap I listen to. But it
Yeah,
feels like poetry to me. Well, it is in a way, but
I love
I
that.
really
That's
like it.
beautiful. I want to listen to that album now.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's on it.
Damn. Um, okay, well, my number three,
Oh my god,
also just
were we supposed to
what?
be ranking these from like starting at our least favorite to our most favorite? Because I don't know if I did that.
Oh no, I didn't do that. I just said number.
In
Yeah,
no
I
particular order, these are our three favorite albums.
yeah, no particular order
No particular order.
whatsoever.
Okay, my apologies.
Um, but just bouncing off of your conceptualization of the spirit world and
Yeah.
through music, I would like to present one of my favorite albums being the soundtrack for How to Train Your Dragon.
Mhm.
I think that it is good. And well, here's the thing. My experience with this album in particular, yes, I do love the movie. And I
Mhm.
did start listening to it because of the movie, but it took on a very new role for me once when I was literally just walking downtown. Um and I was having like a bad day for some reason, and I was going out for something, and I put in my headphones and put my thing on shuffle, and one of the songs from the soundtrack came up, and I didn't even recognize it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What the hell is that?" And then I played the full album because I liked the song so much,
Mhm.
and something about the vibe of like walking through the parks near my house and listening to the like very like I don't even know how to describe the vibe of it, but it's very like Scottishy sounding, like
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
some brass in it, there's a lot of like woodwind, like high woodwind type riffs, and it's just very actiony,
Yeah.
but also like beautiful and
Mhm.
serene. Like it just really captivates, like I don't know, not that I usually think too deeply about it, and I do just enjoy the sound of it, but it really
Yeah.
captivates like the movement of life in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Plus, I love dragons, so
Yeah.
the fact that most of the songs are named after dragons is pretty epic.
That is
Um,
very epic.
yes.
Um, is this an album that like it so all the music was created for the movie on the soundtrack?
Yes.
Like it's
Yeah,
all of
yeah, yeah.
okay. Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
it was
I've
by
never
John Powell, I think.
very
Yeah. But it's pretty epic, and that's
cool.
all I got to say about it, is that it's one of those things that I listen to it and I just feel good. And also because it's instrumental, it
Mhm.
doesn't weigh me down with this like whole lyrical sense. Like I can interpret it literally however I want. Like there's
Right.
no strict boundary of voices that I have to listen to. Like I don't even really have to actively listen to it. I can just feel it, man, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, no, for sure. That's cool. I haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon since I was probably like a child, but I do know that I remember really liking the music. I'm not just saying that, I do remember the music being good. So I would be interested
Yeah.
to like rediscover that for myself as well.
Yes.
And also
I
not only that, but side note, the movie as well, because you love How to Train Your Dragon so much, and I feel like that's an experience that I need to kind of like reignite from now having like because when you here's the thing. Sorry, I'm derailing this a little bit.
Go for it. That's okay.
When you because there are lots of things in life that you love that I have either never experienced or just haven't had the chance to appreciate it in the way you do. And one thing that I love and value so deeply about our friendship is the the joy that you allow me to discover in different things in my life that I didn't think I had the capacity to enjoy. And this is just one of those things that like I don't know, sorry, not to get all like crazy in here
Oh
tonight,
my god.
but
What
yeah,
the heck? I'm gonna cry.
but I do love that, and this is an instance where I'm excited to also watch the movie again too, and you know just see what.
Oh my god, should we watch How to Train Your Dragon together?
I do think that we should.
Aw, Finch, thanks. That's
You're
amazing. I love that we have
welcome
that kind of
to
relationship.
the Love Hour, everybody.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Mm,
All right. Back to the good shit, the music.
let's get back to the music,
Yeah,
baby.
let's get back to the music. What is your next favorite album of
All
choice?
right. So the second album that I chose is Being So Normal by Peach Pit. Um,
Ooh, Peach Pit.
I love Peach Pit. I know you love Peach Pit as well, Erin. We both did
Hmm.
not get to attend Peach Pit concerts that were happening in cities near us for
Yeah.
the year of 2020, but that's okay. That's okay. I actually did see Peach Pit once before, a couple years ago, and it was one of my favorite concerts ever. And I love them, but I in particular love this album. First of all, this is like one of the only albums or one of the albums that I like really know that when I listen to it, every song is an absolute banger. And I love every single song just on its own. So for me, it's less of like, the album as a whole and like the theme it has or whatever. Like, I think the album art is cool, but mainly I see this album as just like a playlist of absolute bangers that I love. Like, I just think all the best Peach Pit songs are on this album and also some of my favorite songs ever. Cause I don't know, they're just a vibe, man. Like, um, I discovered Peach Pit when I think in grade 12, and the first time I heard Alrighty Aphrodite, which is like one of my favorite songs by them, it
Yes.
did something to me. It makes me feel so groovy and just like fun. It's so fun. But yeah, I don't really have like a ton to say about it other than that the songs are really good. The one song in particular, Private Presley, makes me feel so deeply. It really does. And that's the thing, like this I really like Peach Pit because their music is very fun and very enjoyable and I love it, but also it does move me in a deeply emotional way sometimes too. I just think they're very talented musicians. Um, and I really enjoy the stuff that they're making, and they just have a really fun energy, but they're talented. They have the technique to like really bring you somewhere with their music. And I just realized that I have been so analytical, and I think it's because I just got back from a 3-hour critique. So that's why I'm going into literally everything right now. But yeah, just bangers, man. That's why I really like.
I love how it sounds like you're presenting, like you sound so articulate with the ways you're
Thank you.
talking about it.
I
It
really
does.
do, yeah, I really do think that coming back from the critique put me in this headspace of like, I don't know. I enjoy it though. I enjoy. I don't know. I just feel like for me, and this is probably because of my background in like art and doing critiques and stuff like this all the time, but like the more I can like go into something and really just like appreciate every single aspect and what does that represent and how does that relate to the larger whole of this creative thing, like, oh, that just enriches my enjoyment for it so much and like really deepens it for me and hopefully other people. So yeah.
Hell yeah. I love
Anyway,
that.
that's the end of my rant for my second album, Being So Normal. It's really good.
I can vouch that Peach Pit is a very good band. I actually I made a friend when I was living in Scotland and I was supposed to go to that Peach Pit
Oh,
concert.
right.
That's how I made one of my friends with my flatmate because they were talking and they were like talking about a Peach Pit concert and I was like, "No way, you're going to Peach Pit?" And they were so surprised that I knew who that was. They were like, "How do you know?" And I was like, "Oh, well, my best friend, like, she loves Peach Pit."
Oh,
And then
man,
they invited me and I became friends with them and it was so
that's
sweet.
awesome.
So it built relationships, truly.
Yeah, no, and that's the other thing too. Like when I was at the Peach Pit concert, the energy was so good.
Yeah.
Everyone in the crowd, because I remember I went with my friend Emily, and we got there and we just like kind of looked at each other and we were like, "Damn, there's just so many like beautiful people physically around us, but also like this is good vibes right here, you guys. Just a good old
Yes.
concert." And that's one thing that I love about them too is just that wholesomeness and just good music, good vibes.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Speaking of good vibes, my next album is
Mm.
definitely one that you are very familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I started listening to it because of you, I'm pretty sure. And that's Transatlanticism, Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because if we're talking albums, I mean, yeah, I mentioned this to you before, Chelsea, but I don't listen to albums very much. Like I'm a very much a one song kind of person.
Mhm,
Um and I usually don't even know what albums certain songs are from, but
mhm,
with this album in particular, it is one that like I will play it like from the beginning to the end. Like if I'm just trying to study or just trying to feel better about my life, like I will
mhm.
just play it the whole album and that's very rare for me, but I just can't explain. I just love the vibes. And I think that it's a huge part of it is just the nostalgia factor for me. Like it really just takes me back to like a better time of like
Oh my god.
friendship and everything, but it also just like invokes such a creative energy out of me and I just feel like I don't know, I just feel so at peace and yet so whimsical when I listen to it.
Wow. You know what? That is beautiful, and it almost feels like when I listen to you talk about it in that way, it's almost as if you're saying exactly the way that I also feel when I listen to that album. Like it truly does. It is magic for sure. It does
Yeah.
so much. And that creative spark that's in that album is so true because sorry, not to freaking make this about me, but what you're saying,
It's okay.
I also deeply resonate about that nostalgia about a better time or just a good because I was listening when I first discovered that album. I was in grade 10, and that's also when I first started like painting and getting into like art and discovering that it was something that I liked. So that album already I relate to a really like self discovery part of my adolescence, but also I remember just listening to the whole album and being in the room that I was in where I had everything set up and just painting for like so long and loving it. Just really like honestly truly
Mm-hmm.
like I've been studying art for a while now and I am fully an artist. Like I've been practicing and doing this for a good amount of time, but the pure joy that I got from creating back then, like it was so free. There was no pressure on me because I was just beginning. And yeah, so I always think about that fondly, and that album as goes hand in hand with that. So I agree 100%. It's a really great album.
Yeah, it really just connects you to like a certain place in time. And I think that's what makes like music so powerful sometimes is its ability to literally transport you to another state of consciousness.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
I love it.
nice. Me too.
All right, your number one.
Okay,
Dun 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 dun
so
dun. Drum roll.
finally, last but certainly not least, my third favorite album is Behold and See by Ultimate Spinach. And Ultimate Spinach is a
Ultimate spinach.
yes, and their name, as bizarre and wacky as it sounds, their music, like yes, they are absolutely Ultimate Spinach because their music is so psychedelic and surreal and cool and fun. And they are a band from the 60s.
Ooh.
And this album, I think, is from 1968. Let me fact check, though. I think it's 1968. But first of all, I love the album art. Oh, I wish we had the ability to insert a picture. um, oh my god, I got it right. It was 1968. Frick yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
the album art, it's not like anything crazy, like mind-boggling or like it's even kind of simple. I don't know, but something about it is like very captivating to me. And there's no way I could really like explain what that is, and like you would have to just see it. But and I'm not even able to articulate what exactly I like about it so much. But it's a cool album cover, and I think that also translates well into the way that I feel about the music on this album too, because it is just so like because here's the thing, I listen to the music and I like that sound. I like the old like psychedelic rock sound. I think it makes me feel so chill and so fun, and it really makes me enjoy like being alive sometimes. Like sometimes music like that, I'm just like, man, everything is so chill and good right now and I'm having a good time.
Yes.
But so the sound is like that, and it's also like kind of trippy and whatever, like psychedelic rock has that funky aspect of it too, which I enjoy. But when I listen to the lyrics, like they're so very surreal, almost like it's crazy because it's music that's very psychedelic in nature through the lyrics, but it's not so obvious, which I enjoy. Like it's almost about like um that elusive state of mind that like makes sense when you're in the moment and you don't really question it that much, but it's got something about it that just has like a, I don't know, something an element of, it's got that je ne sais quoi. that's,
Ooh, okay.
that's all I can really
That
say.
je ne
But
sais quoi.
all I know is that I really do enjoy every album on that song. I usually listen or on that album whoa, every song on
Whoa.
that album. Jeez. Um, I usually listen to this album when I'm reading Ram Dass's Be Here Now, because for some reason, like those two pieces of artwork, in a way, I really like enjoying together. I feel like listening to that album
Hmm.
for some reason really puts me in a good, I don't know, it puts me in the right space to like absorb everything that I get from the wonderful book of Be Here Now by Ram Dass. Anyway, plug for my favorite book. Ooh, we should do a favorite books episode.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah. But also, in particular, on that album, there's a song called Mind Flowers, which is just the most
Ooh, that's
like
a beautiful name for a song.
trippiest sounding song. Like it's 9 minutes and it takes you on a trip. It's amazing. I would definitely, if anything, listen to if anybody out there listening to this podcast is gonna listen to one thing that I've like talked about from any of the albums or anything that I've recommended, I would say if it's gonna be one thing, listen to Mind Flowers.
I'm gonna listen to Mind Flowers after this.
I like it a lot. So, and also I wanted to include this album. Yes, it's like one of my favorite albums, but in general, I just wanted to like have this as a representation for that whole genre of music that I really enjoy. That's like I don't know, it's got a little special place in my heart. I really resonate with that music and that time. So,
Aww.
yeah.
Damn, I'll have to listen to it. That actually sounds so nice. It
Yeah.
sounds like a good vibe. It makes me think of an album that I did not include, but that I do really love. Little honorable mention, I guess.
Oh, honorable mention.
Even though it's not really psychedelic rock, but Surrealistic Pillow by Jefferson Airplane.
Oh yeah.
That album is so good.
Album. Very good album.
I think that's like around the same time, right? 60s,
Yeah.
late 60s, I don't know. But it's really good.
So
okay,
good.
but my I mean, it's not my top one. Again, no particular order, but
right, exactly, no particular order.
But my last album, I'm not necessarily proud of this.
Okay, that's all right.
Because here's the thing, people have genuinely made fun of me for liking this band, but I do stand by it. Yeah, you know. But probably one of the most influential albums to my life was Night Visions by Imagine Dragons. And I stand by it.
I'm right there with you. I love Imagine Dragons. That's a great album. All the Imagine Dragons haters can suck my ass.
Exactly. I don't know why people have something against them. Maybe there's a reason, I don't know, but I love them, and Night Visions in particular. First of all, it just has so many bops on it. Like, I'm sorry if anyone tells me that they didn't go hard to Radioactive, like they're lying. They're lying. But also just every single song on that album just made me feel some type of way, and also it really, again, nostalgia factor is huge with that album, because it takes me back to like a good place, and especially because the first time that I remember being on a plane, I mean, I know I was on a plane when I was really young, but I think I was like 12 or 13 when I went on a plane again, and I listened to that album the full way through when I was on the plane, like looking out the window over like it was nighttime, so that all the city was like lit up but dark, and this was way before I was like a spiritual person too, but listening to this album and looking over this city that was like slowly shrinking and shrinking, something clicked in my brain, and I saw the city as just one big circuit board of just connection, and I just saw the network that was society and like humanity, and I don't know, man, it hit something in my brain, and I was like, travel, like I need to travel. And so it's a huge like travel album for me now, even though I don't know what it's meant to be. Like, I don't even know what the intentions are or the meanings behind the lyrics are. It's just, I just really connect it to experiencing new things and understanding the collective.
Yeah, wow, that's so awesome.
Hell yeah.
I
love Imagine Dragons.
Yes. And I think now would be a good time to note that we were actually at the same Imagine Dragons concert, but we were not.
Oh yeah.
But we both went to that same concert, and it was it was also my first concert, so.
It was my first concert too.
Yeah, so I feel like we both have that mutual connection to Imagine Dragons as well. So,
that's so true. You went with your aunt, right?
And my mom, yeah.
And your mom, yeah. Dang, wow. That's one of the craziest coincidences I've experienced in life, is that one time that we figured out that we were both at the same concert before we were friends.
I know.
That was crazy.
but it doesn't. That's when the synchronicity started, baby.
Oh yeah.
Since
Oh yeah.
you know what, I I really enjoy the selections that we both have made for our album
Me
choices.
too.
Honestly, um, I think you picked a good selection. And listen, we have the ability to really dive deep into anything that's presented to us. So I think no matter what, we're gonna find ways to like, or at least I know I will definitely find a way to like discover things about everything, like all the albums, all the music I listen to that I really appreciate. But this is like a good little baseline for like the things that I enjoy in music in itself. So
Yeah, I think it makes sense too. Like our choices, like even though I haven't heard two of the albums that you presented, the way you described them, I was like, yeah, Chelsea would like those. Like, yeah. And now I want to listen to them.
yeah. Well, and another thing too, like I'm sure that there are definitely albums that if I really thought about it for a while, I may have picked those. But I think it's important that I went with the albums that initially came to me when I was like, what are my, like, what albums do I really enjoy? Because I feel like that is like the most authentic choice for me. Like, what did I immediately think of? And so I rolled with that. So I think there's
Yeah.
a good aspect to me picking my selections without thinking too deeply about it. So my intuition could uh, bring me to our wonderful conversation today.
Yes, I love it. So takeaway is listen to all of these albums that we've mentioned all at the same time,
Oh,
one playing over the other.
yeah.
I think that would be a fun new experience.
A big old album gangbang. Well, that was me verbally expressing the intrusive thought that I initially had listened to all the albums at once. So I apologize for that. It was a
I
little bit.
respect it, but I hope that you never say it again.
That's a promise on my end.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
Oh my god! And I just looked at the timestamp, and we were at 32 minutes and 22 seconds. So there was a little 222 in there.
oh,
We're
little
wrapping it up.
synchronicity. Yes, perfect.
And
We
with
love to
that,
see it.
thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into this week's episode. We hope
Yes,
you
thank you for
enjoyed.
sharing your time with us.
Yes, we appreciate that. And I hope you, if anything, listen to some really awesome music later.
Yeah,
That's all I
do
hope
it.
for anybody, really.
Yeah, to
So
just listen to some good tunes.
yeah, hell yeah,
Listen to some good tunes, read a book, and paint a picture.
dude.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. That's our message. That's our guidance for the universe today.
All right. Well, tune in next week for some more little shenanigans, I
Oh,
suppose.
yep. All right. Thanks, everybody. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.